GingerGM.
Happy Sunday, everyone, and I was just going to have a bit of Sunday blitz, and I thought I'd share the experience with you guys on YouTube. So I'm going to try, I'm aiming for 5 wins. That's what I'm going for. My ratings dropped down a little bit, and that is the aim of today's blitz. Get 5 wins in a row. Of course, in a row. You know, we don't want one here, 1 in 10 games. That would be bad. So we want 5 wins in a row. Can we do it straight off the back? Now, I've been experimenting myself with some slightly different openings recently, and this one being one opening I've been playing a bit against the Niedorf. I had a bit of a disaster, I have to admit, in the playing in the 4NCL league with this, where I got a bit out prepped, and that often happens, to be honest, when you're trying to learn a new opening. It's quite easy to get out prepped, but I'm trying to play this kind of open Sicilian position because it seems very fun, basically, where you often get a big attack and you get an interesting game. So just for a little bit of a change. I know I don't always recommend you at home change your openings a lot, because you should try to master one opening before you move on to another one, but I'm a bloody grandmaster, so you know I know everything, don't I? So anyway, yeah, we've got to have a little bit of fun at times. So this position is I would say a little bit better for me, maybe, because if he goes a5, I've got bishop b6. Okay, this is a typical break, so I'm going to force the knight back, and I'm hoping his king is going to be a little bit weaker than mine, and also I seem to have a little bit more space. His pieces aren't great, so maybe I'm going to move here for 2 ideas, bring the knight back into the game via c1, and also to play for c3 maybe. So let's try that one. My opponent's trying to get his knight in, but my idea is to play c3 and try to open up his king, because his king is of course over here. I could have thrown in bishop to b6 in that last position, but this position looks pretty good to me. I seem to have all the pressure. Now, do I go here or do I check him first? Now, if I go, does the check help me? I don't think it does, so I'll do this one. And he can't move his knight here, but I don't know how I get in on that area of the board. I'm a little bit low on time, so I'm gonna have to start moving a little bit quicker here. Okay, so he is finding ways to defend. Can we now play this one? This is interesting, with rook takes c7 if he grabs my bishop. And so far my opponent's managed to defend, but this seems to keep the initiative going. Got to watch out for d4, which might free up my opponent's pieces. I think he's going to have to go pawn takes, because if bishop takes, rook c7. Do I have a good move after pawn takes? Maybe bishop c5, but I might move my queen to this square first. Oh, he's done this one. Okay, well I didn't think that was possible because of this move, but he's calculated that he can try to get some counterplay with this or some move over here. Is that true? I don't understand his idea here, because I seem to be covering everything at the moment, but I suppose he's got a little bit of initiative. But I think it's only a little bit. Oh, he's coming in. Oh god, why have I just walked into that? That's ridiculous. I've got queen b4, but then he's got rook here check, which I missed, so that was bloody stupid. I mean, his position couldn't have been working. Can I get out of this one? That was really annoying. Well, I'm gonna get a fair few pieces, so this might be alright. Okay, I've got to move quicker now. Just missed that check there. And oh, he's got that one. Bummer. Oh, so the 5 wins, it doesn't look like it's going to come from this game after I had such a dominate. I just, again, like I often do this when I get a good position. I just I can't always sort of maintain my composure, which I'm going to have to. I think it's often you need a bit of a warm-up game. That's my excuse anyway. Always good to have excuses in life, isn't it? You know, it seems like all our MPs have many excuses. You know, can't. You know, my eyes are bad, so what shall I do? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go for a drive to test my eyes out. Yeah, that I know. If I ever get pulled over by the police, that'll be, if they say, "What are you doing?" I'll be like, "Well, you know, my eyes are bad, so I'm going for a drive." I mean, come on. Okay, anyway, I'm still not completely out of this one. Oh no, let's not do that. Not completely out. I mean, it's kind of. I've got time. Now he's got some checks, of course, but I don't think he's gonna improve by those checks. So if he wants to win, he can't just keep checking me. What's he doing? Does he want to draw? Well, this is a draw now, surely. There we go. Okay. Well, I'll take a draw there, because generally when you're a queen down, a draw is an alright result. Just in case you're wondering. You know, being a queen down, draw's okay. That's you know, maybe a good series for a DVD. Take the draw when you're queen down. Okay, so let's try again. That last one I seem to be doing alright, and I'm gonna now try to drag a dwarf out. This is an old favourite opening of mine. You often get very exciting positions, so hence why I play it. You know, if white wants to get an advantage, generally white has to castle queenside. I don't think white gets much in these positions, but I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. Got to watch out for knight c6. More positional approach from my opponent here. Savage Little Mole. That's a nice name, isn't it? That is a nice name. I like that name. Oh, it actually helps if you pay attention as well, and not just look at your opponent's name. Oh, there, you muppet, Williams. But I've actually had this kind of thing before, and you often get quite good counterplay because I can try to win that pawn back or get the knight in. And I've got quite a lot of pieces, a bit like a Benko, attacking my opponent's queenside. So here I can simply take this one, so I'm going to get my pawn back, and my rooks are quite well placed. I actually wrote about this in my book on the dragon, and it's in the GingerGM DVD as well. But maybe if my opponent goes here, I'm not so worried, because I can always swap queens on c5, worst case scenario. But let's do that. Let's just do that. Let's do the safe option here. And I can try c4. This is why I'm going for it, which I'm hoping will give me a little bit of an advantage in an ending. Now, not sure if that's true. Let's try this one. Probably gonna be too many pawns coming off the board for any serious winning attempt. But my opponent's queenside pawn's very weak there, so if I can come in and take it, and I'm thinking here I've got a5 at the right moment, but I don't want to allow this in here. It starts whipping off my pawn, so I'll play e6 first, and my opponent can now play a5 herself. Actually, okay, she hasn't done that, so that means this ending, of course, should be a draw. But we'll play on a little bit. Why not? Maybe I should not have done that one. But yeah, I mean it's going to be here. Okay. I don't know who's trying to win this. Actually, I don't know if I'm trying to win this or my opponent's trying to win it. I'd like to say I'm trying to win it. It's better if you're, you know, we might as well say that. I've got to get 5 wins. I didn't actually go into this trying to get 5 draws. In case you're wondering, that wasn't my intention. So maybe I can make a little bit of progress in this ending. I was hoping for that one, because now I might be able to grab a pawn. It still shouldn't be enough to win this ending. I actually can now take these, and this might be very close to being winning, actually. Especially after oh wow, my opponent's losing all of her pawns. So this is really bad for her. This might actually be a technical draw, but it's really hard to draw this one. This is a drawn position, as Doretsky let us know in one of his endgame books, but it's incredibly hard to draw. I say that, and I've no idea how to win this either. I'm thinking my king. This is the first decision. My opponent's played the right move there, and how am I going to win this one? Do I come here? This doesn't look like it's making much progress, actually, to be honest, because it's just rook here. Okay, now if I check first, how is this looking? With some idea of coming around this way. I've got to try to force my opponent's king away. Now I'm hoping that this is working. If I can take the rook and go king g3 in the king and pawn ending, and I can now claim that I'm making progress because I've kicked that king away. But I'm not sure if I am making progress, I have to admit, because my opponent always has these checks over here. So yes, and this is the problem. So what I'm trying to think of, how am I going to win this? The first thing I'm trying to do is advance my pawns as much as I possibly can. That seems like a logical first step, but it's not an easy step to do, and I'm not sure. It's really hard to win. Okay, so I'm going to lose on time as well. That'd be really. I have to block like this. This is. Now let's try maybe pushing the pawn a little bit further. Or I used this check method before, didn't I? Oh no, wrong square. Oh dear, I meant to go check, but I just got the wrong square. Now this one draws immediately. Okay, so we're off for a draw. That was a bit of a mouse slip. Maybe I could have tried to win that one if I used that check method. I don't know that ending. I have to look up that ending. Very important, everyone out there, to know that when you're when you're trying to get better at chess, endings are really important, guys. Make sure you can get your endings up to scratch. It's quite funny how a lot of people assume that if a person, probably like myself, is a real aggressive attacking player, one of the most aggressive players out there, we're bad at endings, or we don't like endings because we like attacking. Now that is a real fallacy, and I actually quite like endings, and I think I'm pretty good at them. And this is the same for a lot of players. A lot of people thought this about Macau Tao, who's my favourite player, Macau Tao. And he loves sacrificing pieces, but his endgame play was amazing. And you'll often find that, in actual fact, being a good tactician and being good at endings is the same thing. Because when you use tactics, what do tactics do? They either result in checkmate or they result in some material gain that you have to convert in the ending. So this is why it's very important to be an endgame player. Okay, now saying all that, it kind of feels like I should swap queens off, shouldn't it? But I don't really want to. Let's play this. I'm trying to stop my opponent's knights coming into the game, but maybe I haven't succeeded because this one is now coming. Doesn't look like it's a disaster for me though, because my bishop can pop back to one of these squares. Maybe this one is safer so it doesn't get hit later on by a knight here. My opponent now is sacrificing a pawn, which seems quite logical. I will grab it without any fear. Can't show fear. And now, do I support it with the pawn? Probably. I want to keep this knight here. I don't want to move that knight because that will open up my opponent's position. But my opponent certainly has some counterplay here. And I probably would, in all honesty, rather be black in this position. So I haven't won a game yet. Five wins in a row, and I haven't won one game. Great. Nice work, Simon. Nice work. Come on, let's win this one. So, I'm a bit worried about this zooming in as well, yeah? Okay. Well, if it zooms in, I'm just going to be brave. Oh, no, that one. Fucking hell. Excuse my French. Never been a strong point of me. Oh, okay. After this game, we're going to kick some bottom. This game is going wrong. I don't really have many moves here either. Now this looks like it might be a bit slow, but if in doubt, just do something. And I don't know what else to do, so I'm just going to try this one. It seems to be like all of my opponent's pieces around my king. So how can this possibly work? Now I could go here and try to exchange queens, which I probably should do, because look at the state of my king. I mean, this is like the coronavirus germs coming around my space, giving me a bit of social distancing pieces. They don't want to. They want to smother me to death. Okay, but we haven't lost yet. We are still holding this together. I would not be surprised if there's some win for my opponent in this position at all. And the issue I have is I don't know how what my plan is. So I'm thinking I probably want to get rid of this knight, but I have to move my rook out of there because of the check, because my bishop was useless anyway, so we might as well get rid of that one. The more pieces I can exchange, the better chance of my opponent not checkmating me occurs. Now here, bishop here. Okay, I think I'm going to have to keep defending this pawn. For example, bishop c4. Okay, well again, this could be very bad for me, but I don't have any choice. Just knight here. I thought I was fighting back there until that move. That is annoying. Okay, we'll play him a little bit, but after knight here I will resign. Okay, it starts now. It starts now. That was poor actually, and I'm going to stick with e4 today and just keep playing some open positions. So I'm even experimenting with a weird little setup against the French, and I think I had this against this guy the other day, and the setup I'm going for is this kind of weirdness, because what I'm looking at getting, and I don't know, I haven't seen this setup before, I don't even know if it's an idea. Well, it's an idea because I'm playing it, but is I want to get my queen, knight and bishop to these squares, and those of you who know my Dutch, me playing Dutch defense, that's the setup I try to get in the Dutch with black. So that's kind of what I'm trying to achieve in this position. Obviously in this particular case that's going to be very unlikely, but I have a lot of like faith in these pawns in general, but maybe my opponent can play tactically now with some idea like this, which my opponent didn't do, which I'm quite happy, but my pieces are very bad here, aren't they? Now this move was very scary, but it's all good and proper experimenting, but only if the experiments go right. And I'm now worried about this. I can't go bishop here because the knight takes here. So how do I get my pieces developed? Maybe I have to, well then knight here anyway. And if I go here, I'm a bit worried about knight coming to this square and then into here. So this has gone wrong. Experiment has backfired. So what am I doing here? This looks totally wrong to me, but I can't see another choice. I want to stop that knight coming to those squares. So, but my opponent is so well developed here. This seems like it. And of course my opponent now opening up the position, which is obviously the right decision to play. Okay, So I've got to move these pieces out. So let's get that one there with a tempo. And I can stop my opponent annoying that knight by playing a4. Bishop here not working again, so I need to play this. Wow, what? That's a really weird move. What kind of move is that? I don't understand that. What was that? Was that a mouse slip? Who on earth would play b6? Trying to kill their own bishop. Okay, that is really bizarre. Look at the state of that one. I don't understand that move at all. That's one of the weirdest moves I've seen. Entombing your own bishop. Well, okay, and now, I mean, okay, it might make some sense, I guess, but right, first win. This is my first win, Simon. Forwards we go. Got to move quicker. So I just want to go here first and defend this pawn before I decide what to do next. Taking and g5 seems to be natural, but I'm just trying to get my pieces maybe to slightly better squares. But yeah, this b6 was a horrible move, my opponent, no matter what the result is. It just looks totally wrong. Might just go h4. Okay, so nibbling that pawn. So let's attack the bishop and defend that pawn. And does my opponent have to go backwards now? I can't see any other move. And I've allowed my opponent to take that pawn because I'm hoping that the open g file will actually benefit me for some kind of attack. Now I'm going to go here. And right, so my opponent wants to take this one, but I can now try to use this g file. Now, can I do some sack, or do I? Okay, let's just. Looks like that's going the wrong way. Am I worried about this pawn? Should be some. Okay, time, bloody time again. Double. Okay, let's double up on g file and move quick. Bishop here. I've allowed that bishop out. Bad play again. Now my opponent's trying to exchange. Oh, Simon. Simon. What have you done? What are you doing today? Doing? Can I pull this one out the bag? Oh, don't do those stupid mouse slips. Ah, get in there. Oof. I got a little bit tense at the end there. That's one. That is the first one. So we're just going for 4 more. Okay, that's all I needed. That little bit of inspiration. Okay, now the next opening I've been experimenting with is the Vienna. And the Vienna, this is the main line, I'm getting some very interesting games on this. After this move, you can transpose to a King's Gambit, which I know very well, and I quite like this variation we have here at the King's Gambit, because I get a big centre with d4, and I've had quite a lot of experience in this position, played some top grandmasters in real games of it. And the thing about the King's Gambit worth remembering is that if you can win back the pawn on f4, you should always be better because you have the stronger center. So that's why I'm playing this one. Okay, well, my opponent can do that. I'll just develop. And this looks like a good king's gambit to me, because I will win this pawn back. I'm not even worried about this one. I can take with a pawn. It should be absolutely fine. I can even, in that position, give up the pawn, but I've now got what I would consider to be a good king's gambit. So let's get out the pin and just try to maybe move one more piece into the center of the board. Slightly better for white because of the pawn structure. So we're going for number 2. Can we get there with 5 wins? Okay, so this is a standard idea. Probably a decent idea here. Now I could try to weaken the king. If I take d5, do I have something clever there? Bishop here, takes, bishop takes, takes here, bishop takes, queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes b7, rook moves, bishop e4, and I've got 2 bishops, but that looks pretty even to me, that position. So bishop takes f7. Okay, we'll go for this one. Now I'm also thinking I have this move here, which looks quite interesting. So we will try this one, just trying to be a bit greedy, if anything, so we can grab here. And now I probably have to take this one because my d4 pawn. And if I can stabilize d4, I'm gonna be a pawn up, but my opponent obviously has 2 bishops. But if I can play c3, my pawns in the center do a very good job of stopping those bishops getting active. So I prefer my position. These pawns are very nice. They take away a lot of squares from my opponent. So little bit of aggression in mind. Can I go here now? Don't see why not. And this is the idea. So my opponent has to play queen c7. Or this one. Okay, now I could start defending these pawns over here, but now that my knights are very nicely positioned in the center of the board, I think it makes more sense to start a direct attack, and I'm not even going to bother defending that knight. I feel this should be a really strong attack. This is my idea, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces attacking, so my opponent has refused that idea. And this looks very risky for my opponent, but how do I continue? If I take here, takes, check. Whoa. No, I don't have f7. What am I talking about? King here. Still very interesting. Queen here. Oh, I don't know. It looks a little bit... Oh. we'll play it. We'll play it. It looks interesting. I'm trying to combine these 2 pieces to start some kind of attack, but it's probably just nonsense. The idea is to come in here next move. I'm thinking I have a draw at least in this variation, because my opponent can't defend against my queen as far as I can see doing these things. So interesting. Maybe it is good, I don't know. So this is the idea, and now I have at least a draw, but of course I'm hoping there's some win. If I move the rook up, he always has this check. So let's start by taking that bishop. And now I think I'm winning. This is winning. Yeah, of course it's winning. It's mate. It's going to be mate, either knight here or queen here. What a game. Perfect calculation. Yeah, right, Simon. Well, that was more intuition. Grandmaster intuition is always correct. And now we're going for our 3rd win, so come on. Win number 3. Cashier number 3, please. If you've watched my videos before, you'll be well accustomed to this position. And if my opponent just continues without any care in the world, he will probably get checkmated. It's amazing how many times I've had this kind of position in blitz games, real games, any games, because to me this position is terrible for white, and white often goes into this position blitzing out all the moves. You know, often white just goes bang bang bang, gets to this position, keeps, you know, and then finds out how difficult this position is, because my attack on the king side here is normally very strong, and the good thing about this move is it kind of stops all of white's play. So like I said, I've literally had this so many times, it's crazy. Now even g5 makes sense here. Doesn't mean I won't mess up the position, but this kind of position is very nice for black. Okay, so my opponent trying to go super defensive, and now the thing that I'd normally do is this one, but I have to watch out for this pawn here. So maybe we just go here first and just keep attacking. And now the standard rook swing is a maneuver that I've used to win, again, numerous games. Just swinging this one around and taking here, checkmate. If you want to know more about this, then go and buy my either Killer Dutch Day. Okay, you can defend like this, so let's not, and then rook here. Let's not get too emotional. This is the only way I can see him defending. Put the rook on f2, but that must be bags I just take here. If you want to know more about this, you can go and buy my Killer Dutch £10 DVD, 8 hours from GingerGM, or there is a more actually, if I go here, I've just realised he's got this move. There is a more comprehensive one for chessable, which covers all the modern lines. So this is actually a little bit strange. It looks like it should be crushing, and it must be crushing. Okay, knight here, one way to get another piece into the attack. Let's start with that one. I assumed I could take here, but I forgot he has rook takes g4. So he's kind of somehow holding on, but this move is now threatening to come into e3, which is one way I can play this. Let's use this square. Now I can, okay, he's really trying to defend with everything, isn't he? But now I am a pawn up as well, and I want to get the bishop to this square, bringing that one into the attack. But he's managed to defend, so credit to my opponent where credit is due. And you know, one of the best defensive structures you can get is a fianchettoed rook. A fianchettoed rook, as white has here, is a very good defensive position. It really does cover so many squares. Okay, so this position is not as clear as it was, but I'm hoping if I can get rid of this bishop, knight e3 will be a killer. And I've got one more piece lining up to come into the position as well. Rook to f8. Now, still defending, takes, knight takes. So takes here and knight here. It's amazing how my opponent's defending this one. Oh, he's got, no, okay, let's, time to open it up. Does this work? My opponent has to be very careful how he defends here. And now if I take, king takes, this looks forcing and good, because this is a big check. Super check. Yeah, okay, so you can go rook here, but it doesn't matter. The game is over. Just don't lose on time, which I really shouldn't do. It'd be, in this position, a little bit respectful to resign. Ah, you heard me. Number 3. So can we get number 4 on the board? Let's try. Okay. Oh, he's going for the black lion. Good stuff. So what are we gonna do? Let's go for the g4 line. This kind of suits my style. It's very double-edged for both players, and I don't recommend g6 in the black lion course, because where it all starts to look very funny, doesn't it, for black here. So I'm just going to try to crush him as quickly as I can over here. So let's see how this is. Now, I didn't want to chase that knight away because I feel that this is a very good diagonal for my bishop, so I don't want to block it with a pawn. Now, am I worried that I've lost a pawn? Not really, because my opponent can't castle now, and I have this square for my knight. I want to keep that bishop, but maybe I've gone a little bit over the top here as well. I normally go over the top because my opponent now has this great knight, doesn't he? Yeah, okay, so the more I'm thinking about this move was scary. I don't know why he didn't play that one. But saying that, I don't know how I stopped that one coming in. F3, just not a fun move to play. This is going to be tough to win this one, guys. Don't want to fail the challenge. This would be win number 4. Well, I have to stop bishop there. Didn't have any choice. My only plan I could think of is to sort of castle. Okay, so he's played this move, which to me looks a little bit risky, but because he's got queen here, I mean, he didn't need to complicate, but he might be alright in this variation because of this and knight takes f3. But he's complicated, which, when you've got a good position, you should avoid complications generally. If there's an easy way to win, as I talk about in my latest course I've done for Chessable, 30 hours of me talking, that one is. I think it's on sale for a bit more of a limited time. Now, this is, can I go bishop here? He takes my bishop, so the answer is no. So I probably have to move my rook, which is disappointing. Disappointing that I had to move that, but if I get this one in, this position is quite unclear. My opponent has bishop h3 though, and okay, so take here, bishop h3. What about bishop h6 check and some castles queenside, just to go for, just to get my king safe. If I get my king safe, is this anything? My opponent's king is weak. I've got ideas of the rook coming here. I've got f4. I've got queen takes d6. This is murky. This is very murky position. I've also got check and rook takes d6 at the right time. So this is I'm happy actually. I don't know if I should be happy here, but I've got the initiative for the first time in the game, which is nice. Okay, so we now have to play very carefully. So rook here, one idea. Rook g1, another idea. Check, also an idea. f4, another idea. There's many ideas. Let's start with f4. So my opponent's king cannot come back. And here it feels like something like this, but then knight to f2. So if I go here, queen to f2 and queen here. Okay. So do we even play this? Just to try and start hitting these ones. Okay. So my opponent wants to swap here. So I can take now. If I go rook here, there's a check. I can take and take here. So I think I should get rid of that knight to stop any exchanges of queens. We don't want that. And this is a strange position because my opponent's king is certainly not happy. And if he takes, I might have check and rook takes bishop, which I feel like is a lot of fun for someone. I can win the queen with rook g1 at the end. Ah, he's got pawn takes, rook g1 and then takes here. Oh, shite. And this check, just queen g6. Oh, that was silly. I should play it. Yeah, I just missed that one. That was just stupid of me. Forgot he had this defense. Well, it's pretty simple defense, isn't it? Okay, so not working now. Can try. Still has to be careful, yeah, because the queen here. Takes queen f6, then rook g6 defends. Okay, that's kind of like admitting that my plan might not be entirely sound. What am I doing? Where is my queen? What's going on? Yeah, okay, this is rubbish. Oh, why was I R-ing? Okay, just miscalculated. Right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I didn't quite manage the challenge of 5 wins, but there's an interesting, different games there, which I hope you enjoyed. So I've been very busy recently creating this course, which has literally been 29 hours of video. Took a solid 3 weeks, so that wasn't easy to do. You can go and check it out. I'll put the link into the description below. It's basically, I did the videos for this classic book, The Art of Attack. The Art of Attack is probably the best ever book on attacking chess in chess literature, by a guy, Vladimir Vukovic, who was a grandmaster or international master from Yugoslavia, I think. And he wrote this book, which is really a brilliant attacking book. My video courses are a bit pricey, but you get very good. You basically get you won't need to buy any attacking chess again. It's on sale half price for the moment. It's $100, so it is expensive, but you get 30 hours of tuition with me explaining how to become a better attacking player. And obviously with these things, I take them very seriously and do, it's not like I'm joking around here. So you do, for that, get an attacking course you'll never need to update again for the future. There's a money back guarantee on it as well if you don't like it. So go and have a look. The book is only $20, so even if you don't buy my video course, but my video course is aimed at explaining things in a depth way as possible. So keeps me going doing stuff like that. So so now I can hopefully do some more streams and YouTube videos. So description below. See you all later. Goodbye for now.